Hello children, I am Manishi. I am here with the second chapter of chemistry, that is physical and chemical changes. Now let's start with physical properties. So what are physical properties? These are the properties that can be determined or observed, okay, by simple thermometer or by your sense organ. Like example is melting point, boiling point. These are physical properties. So the properties that can be determined by simple observation, okay, observation can be done with some instrument or with your sense organ, okay. Observation will be based on some instrument or sense organ, okay. So these properties are called physical properties: melting point, boiling point, color, odor, heat, size, etc. Now the change associated with these properties, like physical properties, are called physical change, okay. A change in which no new substance is formed, and it is a temporary change. No new substance means there will be no change in property, okay. Suppose you are boiling water, so some temperature change will take place, but the property of water will remain same. So you can say it is a physical change because no new substance is forming, and this change is temporary change. Your second example is, if you are tearing a paper, the property of paper will remain same because its size is changing. It is getting smaller in size when you are tearing it, and the property of paper will remain same. So this type of change, you can say it is a physical change. So let's discuss these changes in detail with some example, so it will be clear to you that what are these changes. So characteristic of physical change, let's see this first. So it is, what are the characteristics? That means on what points physical change is based. So first point is that it is a temporary change. Temporary means it is for short duration of time. Okay, it is not permanent. Second is composition. Like if you are tearing the paper, the size only will get smaller. Suppose this is the size of paper. If you are cutting this, the size is only changing, okay. The property will not change. It is still piece of paper but smaller in size. Physical property will not change. That means same. The property, whatever is here of paper, will remain here also. So next property is that uh, no new substance is formed. No new substance is formed. Okay, no new substance. After change, see the size is here bigger and here it is smaller. So there is a change, but no new substance is forming. Here also it is paper and here also it is paper. So next one is, it can be reversed. Okay, it can be reversed. Next is, no, it can be reversed. That means the recycling of this paper can make it again this much bigger. So you can say it can be reversed. Next is no change in energy or mass. If here, when the change is taking place, there will be no energy change, and mass also will remain same. Suppose it is 5 grams. After change, the addition of these masses will be 5 grams. So that means there will be no change in mass also. So this is called, these are the properties which characterize physical change. First example is dissolution of sugar in water. Suppose you are taking 1 tablespoon of sugar and you are dissolving this in water. So this type of change is physical change. How it is a physical change? See here, 1 tablespoon of sugar is dissolved in this water by stirring. Okay. So you can see sugar is getting dissolved in this water. No sugar is present here. Okay, that means all the sugar has been dissolved in water. Now what is the property of water? Is it changed? No. The property of water will remain as water and of sugar will remain as of sugar. So there will be no change in property, and this sugar can be uh, reversed back in the crystal form on heating. So this change is a physical change because there is no change in property and it can be reversed. So dissolution of sugar in water is a physical change. Second example is magnetization of iron. See here, a iron nail is there which is wrapped with copper wire. Okay, and when electric current is passed through this iron nail, you will see that it will start attracting iron pieces. Okay, so here it is iron pieces. So what change is now taking place in iron nail or iron bar? When this current is passed through this wrapped iron bar, then it is behaving like a magnet. And when current will stop flowing through this iron bar, then again it is behaving like iron nail. Okay, iron bar. So one time it is showing the property of magnet and another time it is showing the property of simple iron. So this type of change, you can say it is a physical change because the property of iron after the change changes not after the change is not changed. Okay, the property of iron remains same. One more time, see here, iron bar is there, it is wrapped with copper. When electric current is passed through this iron bar, it will behave like a magnet and it will attract some iron nail towards it because it is acting like a magnet. Now, when current is removed, it is again behaving like simple magnet and these iron nails which is attracted by it get dropped itself. Okay, so this type of change is called physical change. Next example is freezing of water. Freezing of water, you all know or you have seen at your home also when you are keeping water inside your refrigerator or freezer. You have observed that water which is in liquid state, it has been changed into solid state, that is ice. Okay, so water property will remain same when it is in liquid state and when it is in solid state. So there will be no change in properties of water, and when you will heat this ice, it will again melt into water. So there, it is temporary change. It can be reversed again back to its liquid state. So this is also one of the example of physical change. That means freezing of water or melting of ice. One more example is here, melting of ice. So when it is freezing, that means liquid will change into solid. And when it is melting, that means solid is converted into liquid. So again, in both cases, there is no change in the property. Only physical change is taking place, that is state change. Solid to liquid and liquid to solid. So this type of change is called a physical change. Next example is sublimation. Sublimation you have learned in previous classes also. This one is very important. Okay, it is very important for your exams or in higher study also. Sublimation can be done with some sublimable substances like camphor, ammonium chloride, iodine, dry ice. These are sublimable substance. Only these substance can undergo sublimation. You cannot take any substance which can be sublimate. Okay, so sublimation is a process in which solid is directly converted to gaseous state and gases can directly convert to solid state. This is the important point. Solid is directly changed to gaseous state on heating. This is the symbol of heat, you all know. And gas is directly changes to solid state on cooling. Okay. Let's take one example. Let's take one example of camphor. Sublimation of camphor. Now see children, in this picture you can see one arrangement is here. In this arrangement one inverted funnel is there. Okay, this one is inverted funnel. Inverted means upside down funnel. So funnel is there which is covering a china dish. This one is china dish. In that china dish, camphor is taken. This one is camphor. Okay. And here flame is there which is supplying heat to camphor. Now one more important point is here. This inverted funnel is covered with cotton. Okay. Why cotton is here? I will tell you later on. Okay. It is clear now. This one is inverted funnel, china dish, camphor and flame. So what is happening in sublimation? When camphor is heated, see vapors are forming out. It is not melting. Okay, this is in solid state and it is directly converted into gaseous state, that is vapor. Okay, so on heating, when solid is directly converted to vapors, you can say it is sublimation. And one more thing you have noticed here, that on the inverted funnel, some deposit is forming now. So what are these deposits? Children, see here, the vapors which is forming here, it gets cooled on the surface of this funnel. And on cooling, this vapor is again converted into solid camphor. Again, this camphor and this camphor are in same state. So what you have observed here, on heating, solid is converted into vapor, and on cooling on the surface, vapor is again converted in solid. So this process is called sublimation. Now see here, why this cotton is here? This cotton is here to stop the escaping out of vapor. This vapor is forming. Suppose if it is not there, so all the vapors can escape out of the funnel. So you will not able to observe sublimation, how it is taking place. That's why we have put cotton over here to stop movement of this gas or vapor outside. Okay, so it is clear. When heat is supplied, solid is converted into gaseous state. This is sublimation, and this gases or vapors converted into, not gases, these are vapors only. Okay, these vapors cool down on the surface of funnel, so it is converted into solid state again. So you can say it is desublimation or sublimation. Some other examples are ringing of electric bell, sublimation of iodine, evaporation of water, melting of butter. These all are physical changes, okay, in which property remains same, only it is temporary change, no new substances formed. Okay, so these all are examples of physical change. Now we will move towards chemical change. Now chemical change is based on chemical properties. What are chemical properties? The properties that can be determined by chemical reactions or chemical change. Okay, so this is called chemical properties, like formation of water, oxidizing agent, reducing agent, property of acids. These all are chemical properties. Okay, so the properties which is based on the chemical reactions, and chemical change is called chemical properties. Okay. Next is chemical changes, a change in which new substance, okay, new substance is formed, and it is a permanent change. It cannot be reversed. Permanent change means after the change you will not able to reverse it. Okay, it cannot be reversed. So this type of change is called chemical change. Okay, a change in which new substance is formed, and it is a permanent change that cannot be reversed back. This type of change is called chemical change. Now, what are the characteristics of chemical change? Characteristics of chemical change, that is, new substance is formed. Okay, in a chemical change there is always formation of new substance, and this type of change is permanent change. Okay, and it cannot be reversed. After the change you will not able to reverse the chemical change. Okay, after the formation of new substance you will not able to reverse it back. Now fourth point is very important point. Now fourth is change in composition. Change in composition means whatever substance you have taken before the change, its property will change completely. Suppose it is in this type of property, now its property has been changed totally. Suppose it has the property of suppose water, some formation of water. Okay, how it is forming? When hydrogen and oxygen is combining together, it will give water. Now see here, change in composition. Hydrogen is in gaseous state, oxygen is in gaseous state. After the chemical change, water is formed, that is in liquid state. Okay, so you cannot reverse it back. Next, the hydrogen is highly inflammable gas. Okay, with a very small spark it can catch fire. Oxygen is supporter of combustion. Okay, so it can catch fire, and this oxygen is supporter of combustion. But after the chemical change, the property of hydrogen and oxygen has been changed. Now here in water, hydrogen will not able to catch fire easily, or oxygen will not support combustion. Here it is in liquid state, and this will not support combustion. Water will not support combustion. Okay, so you can see easily here that the property of water is totally different from hydrogen and oxygen. So remember this point, it is very important for chemical change. There will be change in composition. The property of reactant is totally different from the product. Okay. Now next is loss or gain of energy. Wherever chemical change is taking place, there must be some gain of energy so that reaction can proceed, or there will be loss of energy. After the reaction, some amount of energy is released. So this type of change, if it is taking place, you can say it is a chemical change. Now let's take some examples for this chemical change. First one is burning of paper. You all have seen burning of paper. What you have observed that there? In burning of paper, children, you have observed that when paper is burning, the property of paper has been changed into ashes. Okay, now the paper you have used for writing purpose, or you can cut easily, now its property has been changed. It is in powdered form, that is ash, and now you will not able to write on it. The property has been changed, and after burning you will not able to reverse it back. That means ash will not convert again into paper. So this burning of paper is an example of chemical change. Now next example of chemical change is formation of curd. You all have seen formation of curd at your home also. What happens when milk is kept outside of the refrigerator for long hours? It will convert into some solid that is called curd. Okay, so milk is converted into curd. How? When it is kept outside, or when it is kept outside the refrigerator or at hot temperature. So the property of milk is now changed into curd. Milk is sweet in taste and curd is sour in taste. Okay, it after the change you will not able to reverse curd again back to milk. It is not reversible change, so it is a chemical change. Property of milk is changed, so it is a chemical change. New substance is forming. Milk is the composition of milk is different from curd, so new substances forming. That's why also it is a chemical change. So second example is formation of curd. Next example is rusting of iron. Rusting of iron, you can see that when iron comes, this iron bar is here. Iron bar comes in the contact of oxygen and water or moisture present in air. It will start rusting. Okay, rusting will start taking place. So rusting is eating up of iron. And now after the formation of rust, iron is converted into iron oxide, Fe2O3. Okay, and dot XH2O. Formula of rust is Fe2O3 dot XH2O. Okay, so the and iron formula is Fe only. So you can see that iron is not now converted into rust, and the formula of rust is Fe2O3. Chemical properties has been changed. Here it is iron only. Now it is oxygen as well as water is combined with iron, and now it is called rust. Rust cannot be reversed back to iron, so it is a chemical change. New substances forming, see here it is iron and here it is iron oxide, Fe2O3. So new substances forming, so it is a chemical change. It cannot be reversed back to iron, so it is a chemical change. Composition is totally different, so it is a chemical change. Now it is clear to you all? Good. So examples are burning of paper, formation of curd, rusting of iron, and next is butter turning rancid. So now this rancid term is new for you. Rancid means when any fatty acids, okay, fatty acid means the acid which is present in fat like oil, butter, cheese, these things have some acid in it. This is called fatty acid, okay. So when these fatty acids comes in the contact of oxygen, it will start oxidizing and form a new substance. So this property of changing the taste is called rancid. Now rancidity, what it is? The oxidation of fatty acids which is present in food items mostly, and it will change after oxidation. The taste and odor of food items will get changed. So this change is called rancidity, and the food item is called rancid. Okay, so oxidation of fatty acid, okay, which will change the taste and odor of compound. This is called rancidity. Children, you all have seen that in chips packet. It is very good in taste. After so long time, if it is you are consuming it, its taste will not change. So why it is not changing? But because in that packets nitrogen gas or any inert gas is filled to stop oxidation of fatty acid. Okay, if no nitrogen or inert gas is present inside that, so oxidation will take place. That means oxygen will remain inside the packet, and oxidation will take place with that fried chips. Fried chips means it is fried in oil, so oil contains some fatty acids. So if it is not filled with nitrogen or inert gas, then oxidation will take place because oxygen will remain inside the packet, and after some time its taste and odor will get changed. Okay, and it will not, you will not able to consume it after some time. So rancidity is oxidation of fatty acid, and oxidation is done in the presence of oxygen only. So when one more example is that when you will keep butter outside for long time, you will see that the taste of butter has been changed. So in butter also fatty acid is present, and if it is kept outside for long time, that means it is coming in the contact of oxygen, and again oxidation is taking place with the fatty acid present in the butter, and its taste and odor will change. So this is called rancidity, and the product is called, in which change is taking place, is called rancid. Okay, butter turning rancid means it is getting oxidized. Okay, now children, I will give you some assignment based on these physical and chemical change. You will do this in your notebook, and if you have any doubt or query, you want to ask some more example, you can ask or comment me. Okay, so do the worksheet. It will be able, you will be able to find what type of changes taking place. Okay children.